everyone, it's Charlotte here today and we're going to be doing a video on fleece care. Now fleece is becoming a super duper popular bedding for guinea pigs and I do highly recommend it, but that's only really when you have got the right knowledge and you've researched it enough and made sure it's going to be suitable for you. Now hopefully by this time you will have seen my importance of bedding video, which does explain a bit about fleece but also why there are different beddings available and why some of them aren't always safe, but also not everyone is suitable for every owner. So fleece really depends on what kind of bedding you're looking for, but also how much you're willing to put into the care of it. Fleece is quite a high maintenance bedding, but once you get into the swing of it, it becomes a lot easier and you'll know what to look out for, etc. Firstly, I'm going to begin with the basics of fleece. So the only way that fleece works is when the layer is wicked. So this top layer is wicked, which means that it allows any liquid to pass through it. This allows the fleece on the top to remain dry, and so when your piggy's walking on it, they're not going to get wet and they're not going to get sore feet because of it, and urine scalds and everything like that. Now the only reason it works is because there is in between a fleece pad or a fleece liner, there is an absorbent layer in between. So this can be anything from U-Haul pads, which is very common in America and Canada, or it could be towels, it could be Zorb, and there are lots of different other types. It works the same way as baby nappies do, so where the reusable ones, where they wee through it, there's an absorbent layer there to catch the urine, and it means it's washable and it will last a long time. However, some people struggle to actually get their fleece to wick to start with, or aren't aware of that the fleece does need to wick, and it has to be also a certain type of fleece. There are many different types of fleece out there, including like cuddle fleece, there's anti-pill, there's blizzard fleece, there's polar fleece, and there's micro fleece as well, just to name a few. To get your fleece to wick, I do a hot wash of 60 degrees normally, or 2 40-degree washes. After just washing it with normal detergent again in the wash, I find that when I take it out and I test it, it wicks straight away. So for me, I've never really had any problems with wicking, but I do know some people who have. The best type of fleece for this to work is polar fleece in the UK, or it is also known as anti-pill abroad, and occasionally micro fleece can. Types like cuddle fleece and minky fleece don't work well at all. One reason that people love to put their guinea pigs on fleece is because if they've got a big cage, which you should have for your guinea pigs anyway, you should have at least the minimum. The reason is because it is much more economical. What you do is just you pay your first upfront fee, and then this will last for a very long time as long as you care for it properly. Now I've had liners for over a year now and they are just as nice as they were when I first got them. You can actually brush fleece to kind of make the pile come up and look new again, so I do occasionally do that, but this is I think this is one of the first pads we ever got from a shop, and this is just a bottle pad. So another thing about fleece and more about the caring side of it, so you want to do full cage cleans every week ideally. Now I do my cage now, I do it once a week, the actual main liners and everything, because I have a kitchen area which has the Carefresh substrate. Now before, when I just had the normal fleece in that kitchen area, I did actually clean them out every 3 days, so about twice a week I would clean them out, and that is something that you really do need to do if you're going to have fleece. Another thing about fleece is that because it's not a substrate and poos and everything can't go down into the layers of the substrate, it means you're going to have to spot clean it at least twice a day. Otherwise, your piggies will be just sitting and running in their own poo, and it's not good for them to just lay on poo all day. Now, when it comes to washing the fleece, as I previously said, you want to do it about 1 to 2 times a week, dependent on if you've got extra substrates and everything and how messy your piggies are really. When you're washing it, you want to be able to wash it at a reasonable temperature, so you don't want it to be really cold. Some people do recommend cold washes, but I wouldn't, just because personally it is much better to get rid of the urine smells and everything like that when you're doing a hot wash, and also it kills bacteria and everything. So I like to do it on about 40 degrees, my washes, and I have in the past, when they had their fungal infection, did it actually at 60, which helps to kill kind of that kind of fungus type stuff. So generally I do it at 40 now for a normal cage wash. So there you go. But also you want to pick up a detergent or washing powder which is pet safe for your guinea pigs. So you want a pet safe one which hasn't got extra chemicals in it, with really a natural kind of one, and that is the best for when you're washing your fleece. Another thing that you don't want to use softener. Softener actually creates a barrier on your fleece, so once you've actually got it wicked, it kind of defeats the object, and if you're going to keep using softener, it will not work, and your piggies will just be sitting in their own urine and being scalded by it. So it's really, really beneficial not to use softener. Plus it saves money on not using softener anyway, and it doesn't really need it as a material, so I definitely suggest don't use your softener. So with regards to how many times you're going to clean them out, either that 1 to 2 times a week, you'll want to have extra fleece pads in your cage. This means that you can change them out daily, and also pads in their beds and everything, so you want to be able to change it out daily. So if it does become soiled and it's all wet and you can feel it on top of the fleece, then it's going to be a lot more hygienic for your guinea pig. So I'm going to show you how to make sure that your fleece is wicked and when it isn't. Now I've just got this piece of extra fleece fabric that I have from just my scraps, and this hasn't ever been washed or anything, so this shouldn't wick, because when you first get your fleece, it will have like a invisible barrier basically on it, where it means that the urine will just pool on top. Here we go. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of water on, and you'll see there that it is literally pooling on top, and it's not going down to the layer beneath. I mean, obviously we've got a pad under here, but that's just to protect my bed. That is what it's like when it's just pooling like that. So here we're going to show you on this pad how it just goes straight in like that. So you saw the difference. I'm literally pouring this and it's literally going straight in, and it's not pooling on top at all. Now this top layer of fleece will dry really quickly because it will remain in the bottom, and it will remain in the absorbent layer in between. So it's already starting to dry, and I can already feel that it's getting drier again, and in comparison to here where it is still quite damp, whereas here it's actually a lot drier. So you'll see that when it wicks, this means that when your guinea pig's going to be walking on it, it's going to be nice and dry for them, and it's going to wick and dry really quickly, so it's not going to allow them to get urine scalds and everything like that. This is why fleece is a really great alternative to just generic substrate that you pick up at a pet shop, and why it is becoming so popular, along with the fact that you can get it in patterns. Like you can see here, we've got this multicolored stars. So this is really good for if you want to personalize your cage and also create themes like I do. So to end the video, really, as long as you prepare and look after your fleece on a regular basis and look after it really well, then it will be a really hygienic bedding for your guinea pigs. However, on the other hand, if you don't do these things and you do leave it and you think, well, it's not that really big of a deal, it won't make that much of a difference, it honestly will, and it will not be hygienic for your guinea pigs. They'll get wet bums, and they'll get scalded feet and dry feet as well, and everything like that, and they can also pick up urinary tract infections a lot easier if your bedding is unhygienic and wet. So I highly recommend following these steps, but also having a good research on your own terms. Have a look on Google. If you just put fleece care in on there, you will come up with a lot of websites from guinea pig owners that recommend what to do to prepare your fleece, but also how to care for it. So I do highly suggest that. I also suggest going to see Guinea Pig One's video, which is Abby, and she has a lot of fleece care videos and things like that. So it's really good to get as much research as you can beforehand before you start deciding to use fleece. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to my next one. Bye!